Another tier list. It's time to stat pad some views. So we're doing a ranking every big club's season so far. Tier list, yeah.
Let's get into it.
What are the tiers?
Tiers.
Simple.
Just making it simple, S, A, B, C, D.
Simple.
I don't know why D is green, but, it's what it is, isn't it?
Just don't matter. It's an L color.
Green's W color anyway, but...
Look at your shirt.
Exactly. W color.
All right, first one up.
Should
we just go random, not start like that, yeah?
Why?
Random. I don't know. Dortmund.
Why?
Dortmund first, bro.
Okay, whatever. Dortmund first. I definitely know that they're doing well in the Champions League, kind of how similar to last season, yeah?
Yeah. They've become
Bundesliga,
They've become that tournament team, bro.
Bundesliga, 6th place,
6th place, but they're only 2 points off of 3rd.
But that's still not supposed to be what Dortmund is.
Okay. Champions League, they're cooking. They're in the top 8.
New coach, Nuri Sahin.
Oh no, they're 9th.
They lost a lot of players, a lot of veterans, Royce Hummels, this and that.
Brought in some replacements.
If we're realistically looking at this, yeah, they made the final last year.
Mm-hmm.
You would hope that as a club, you take next season very seriously, get all the reinforcements necessary. Of course, they got Guirassy, but I don't think that was enough to do anything.
They got Pascal Gross.
Clearly not showing. I mean, Gross, I don't even think I know he starts.
He's been playing.
He's not the Brighton Gross that we knew. And he's old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 30, I think.
Yeah, so I don't think they want to be in 6th place.
No, they don't. But they're 2 points off of 3rd, bro. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. And then 9th in the Champions League, they're almost hitting those qualification spots. They lost hella players, so you have to think about the transition. It's not been a bad season for Dortmund, definitely.
I wouldn't say definitely not D.
It's definitely not D. I'd say it's definitely not C.
I think it might be C.
It's not C,
I think
bro.
It might be C.
I think it's in the middle of the pack. Dortmund, they have expectations. They set them high for hitting the Champions League final.
C is kind of middle of the pack,
bro. No, it's not. B is literally the middle of the pack here.
Okay,
literally.
On a test, yeah? Are you happy with a B?
Yeah.
Are you happy with a C?
It depends on how hard the test was. It depends.
But everyone says C.
Did I study? Did I study?
Yeah, well, Dortmund's not studying this season, bro.
Dude,
they're cutting by.
I think it's B, bro, and we can move.
Okay, we'll move them. We'll let B. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll go Roma. Give me Roma.
Okay, Roma.
Roma.
Now, Roma.
Think about the expectations as a Roma club.
Low expectations.
Very low.
De Rossi first season managing.
De Rossi?
Yeah, De Rossi starting this season. It was going to be his first full season managing.
Are you sure?
He took over from Mourinho. And I don't think he had a job before that.
Well, that means they've had 3 coaches this season.
They have.
Revolving door managers.
Yes. Ranieri took over the reins, and he's been doing. This is where the form has changed.
Okay,
the form has changed for sure. The form has changed.
They've just doing a lot of questionable stuff. They let Tammy Abraham go on loan.
Tammy
on
loan.
Yeah, he's on loan. Yeah,
okay.
We're not signing that guy. Come on now, not signing him.
Yeah.
They let Lukaku go to Napoli. Their main man, I think, Cristante hasn't been performing well.
Ouar went to Saudi.
They did sign Dovbyk.
Dybala. They kept Dybala, which was a big thing.
Yeah, but Dovbyk, as we all know, has kind of been a bust.
Recently, he's been solid though. Last few games,
they signed Hummels,
Ranieri,
who's just made appearances for them.
Ranieri's saving the team. Last few games, they've been good. They're 14th in Europa League, so they're in that middle of the pack,
which isn't good for Roma for Europa League.
In the table, Serie A, they're 10th, so they're middle of the pack. Champions League, they're middle of the pack. Serie A, form is turning around. They just beat Lazio, which is a good win.
Just because their expectations aren't high, I'd go C.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
C
for Roma.
Everything changed when Mourinho left, bro. Mourinho back-to-back finals in a very bad way.
What do you mean?
Mate, he won them a European Cup and then made it to the Europa League final.
Conference League, mate.
He made the Europa League the Europa League final next season.
He did.
That's back-to-back European finals.
And he lost. Famously, Anthony Taylor getting absolutely rinsed at the airport.
Yeah. I mean, and now look at the same team that Mourinho had. Look what they're doing.
Okay.
All I'm saying.
Yeah, Mourinho's a serial winner. We know this.
Yeah, respect.
Chelsea. Talking about Mourinho, let's go to Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Another chant?
Huh?
A different one now.
Oh. Chill. I'm not a Chelsea fan. We're not Chelsea fans.
I saw a TikTok. It was like, what's your favorite Chelsea chant? Every single one.
Like
Chelsea. Dude, that was jokes. That's a good because the guy making that video knew exactly what he was doing.
I mean, to be fair, they hit a banger with the Chelsea. Like to be
it's
fair,
a good chant.
It's
a good chant. The tune of it, the rhythm slaps.
All right, Chelsea. Maresca came in.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of expectations, yeah, I think we always have to base it off of expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely a limbo. Not a lot of high expectations. Certainly not top 4, I'd say. Regardless of spending, certainly not top 4. New manager, unproven manager, I'd say. I think they're doing above and beyond what everyone thinks.
Above and beyond. Okay, let's relax.
Because people were calling
a billion spent in 2 years. $1 billion. It's almost impossible to fail if you spent $1 billion. It just is.
Well, that's certainly not true.
In 2 years, we've seen
seen
teams spend $1 billion over 5 years, over 10 years, and it hasn't worked out. Over 2 years, if you spend $1 billion and you don't see results, that's impossible, bro. This is why they're fourth. They're fourth in the league. I don't know how they're doing in conference league. I'm assuming they're doing well. I don't really keep up with the conference league, especially the league phase. Come on, bro. This can't be higher.
So you're saying coming into this season, they had high expectations.
Their expectations were to get European spots, like second through sixth was their expectation.
Okay, well, you just put second there because they were in second like not too long ago. Their expectation was certainly not second.
Okay, fine. Third through sixth. That's
fifth or sixth.
No,
I'd say I would say third. Very solid expectation.
Okay, and they're fourth, so they're not blowing it out of the water.
Now they're fourth, but they were like 6 points off Liverpool.
Okay.
At one point.
And we're recording today, and they are not that anymore.
All I'm saying is that I think they've exceeded a lot of people's expectations. They have an identity under Maresca. Mm-hmm. They've got the quality. The players are actually shining. Palmer, Nico. I'd put them at A.
A?
Yes. Don't act all like
fine
surprised here, mate.
$1 billion spent, though. Bayer Leverkusen,
hear me out, yeah? Obviously, they did what they did last season. Mm-hmm. You can't really ask for them to replicate that.
Can't replicate it. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Impossible to replicate last season.
And what they're doing now, not necessarily a big team in the traditional way. I think they're holding on very solidly.
Of course.
To the point that, they're fighting on all fronts. They lost a couple main guys in terms of they're not producing to the caliber of last season. Boniface isn't really producing as well as he is. Mm-hmm. Xhaka, maybe. Even though he's still solid, like he's not producing as well. Frimpong as well.
I would disagree on Xhaka though. Xhaka is having a great season.
No. He just went hairline turkey, mate. That's how you know it's something. He's like, bro, I gotta change.
Turn into a different.
He's like, bro, I gotta change something. Like nothing's working right now.
Right.
I'd put them
S.
Yeah, I was gonna say S.
They're S, bro. This is still S tier. They are 3 points off of Bayern Munich from the top of the table. No, 4 points, which isn't bad. They knocked out Bayern from the Pokal already, and they're in the qualification spots for Champions League. They're fourth in the Champions League table. No, yeah, they're fourth, bro. So they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing.
And this is what I was saying to Dortmund. These are the steps that they were supposed to take this season that they're not taking. Bayer Leverkusen is building upon a flawless season last year and trying to build something that's like very sustainable. Dortmund's not doing that for me.
Okay.
Mate. That C's looming for Dortmund.
No. This looks correct right now. Inter Milano. This is a tough one. 6th in the Champions League table. They're doing well. Qualification spots. They're 3rd place in Serie A. 4 points off of Napoli, but 2 games in hand. So they could take top spot any day now.
Victims of their own success.
Definitely,
this is what
bro.
It's kind of status quo.
Like this is expected of Inter.
Yeah. So like, if anything, they go B for me.
What?
Status
don't
quo.
Don't do this. Don't do.
Are we shocked?
No bias.
Is everyone shocked?
Stop being biased.
No. Hold up.
We're a non-biased channel.
Are people shocked that Inter's doing well?
Why is that? Why that can't be your reasoning to put them B, bro?
Why?
You can't use them. You can't use their past success against them. That's ridiculous.
Why?
That's like saying Bayer shouldn't be S because they're not undefeated last season. That's like saying the same thing.
Okay, so then Ronaldo should have won Ballon d'Or every single year then. What are we talking about
Where did that come from?
Mate, he's a victim of his own success. The reason why Messi won a lot is because Ronaldo built up a lot of his success and built that standard. And certainly he didn't meet that standard every single year. So obviously he didn't, win it. So that's what your argument is for Inter Milan.
No,
right now.
Inter does definitely, for me, this is S tier. This is S tier.
No.
I don't see how they can not be S tier.
How are they going above and beyond right now?
How can
S tier is above and beyond?
Bro,
based on their expectations.
They could take top of the league with their games in hand. They're in qualifying spots for Champions League.
Okay,
and
expected.
They're still in Coppa Italia. And they're still in the Super Cup.
Okay, but that's all expected of Inter Milan at this point. They've been doing this for 4 or 5 years plus.
Fair.
So their expectation, that's like saying, oh, we can put Real Madrid at S tier right now.
No, because they've been shit. They've been garbage.
Because of what? Their expectations are very high.
Yeah.
Therefore, Inter Milan are at B.
Inter's expectations are lower than Madrid's, and have had a better season than Madrid so far.
How are they lower than Madrid's? Let's compare them right now.
How are they not lower than Madrid? Madrid is expected to compete for the Champions League every year.
Is Inter Milan not?
No.
How?
They're not.
They made it to the final last year.
No, they didn't.
2 years ago.
Yes.
They made it pretty far last year.
Okay.
The year before that, they made it pretty far.
So they went to the final. Yeah.
No, the year before the final, bro.
Okay.
So, obviously, there's an expectation that they're going to be one of the top 6 teams competing.
Nah, mate. When you go into the new season, you're thinking, okay, who can win the Champions League this year? You're thinking Madrid.
And you think Inter Milan.
City. You're thinking Bayern Munich.
No, you're not.
Yes,
you're not
are.
thinking Bayern Munich.
You are, bro.
What are we doing here?
Yes, you are.
What are we actually doing here?
Based off of quality of the squad, Inter is not expected to win the Champions League. They're just not.
Mate,
they're just
what
not.
Are we actually talking
They're just
about?
not. Their expectation, yes, it's high for an Italian team. It's probably it's the highest for Italian teams at the current moment. There's no doubt about that. But that doesn't mean, but they're meeting those expectations. They could take top of the league. They're cooking in the Champions League. I don't see how this isn't
meeting
S.
their expectations.
I don't see how this isn't S. But what could they possibly be doing more?
They could be in first place right now.
They could very well be if they played their matches. They haven't played their matches.
That's a big if.
It's not a big if.
Based off of the matches already played right now.
They've played 17 matches. Napoli have played 19.
Okay.
If they play those 2 matches, they could be top of the league. So you can't use that against them because I
certainly can. I certainly
can. They have 1 loss in the league, bro. 1 loss. So yes, if you want to judge it based off their games that they've played this season, they've lost 1 game.
And who'd they lose to?
A good team in Milan.
Yeah. Us. Just let it be known. We beat them.
Nice. Congrats.
We beat them.
Congrats.
They're a B, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Fine, bro. Nah, man. It doesn't make sense. The logic, it just doesn't make sense.
How? It's just based off expectations, man.
Yes, and they're
not going above and beyond.
They're meeting their expectations. They're meeting their expectations. And
okay, so A tier is meeting expectations then. Is that basically what we're doing?
It depends, though.
If that's the case, Chelsea's at S.
No, it depends.
If that's the case.
If they're meeting their expectations, but because their expectations are so high, it's more difficult to meet them. That's why they should be S, because they have high expectations.
But they have high expectations because of the building blocks they set in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's going to be easier for them to meet those expectations, regardless if they're high or not.
That's not true. It is easier for example, Napoli to meet expectations than Inter to meet expectations, because Inter's expectations are higher.
That's not remotely true. It's the expectations are obviously in line with what the club can do, what they can perform with.
And they barely spend money. They barely spend money.
What does that have to do with anything?
It's impressive. You're putting on £1 billion.
They bought all their players.
£1 billion team in Chelsea and Inter, who barely spend money in the same category.
Inter Milan clearly didn't need to spend money. Why did they need to spend money?
They didn't need to spend money.
Okay.
They did smart business. That's why it's more impressive.
Because they've been at the highest level already. They don't need to spend more to keep being at their spot that they are already.
Let's move on. Manchester United.
Man United, they're D.
This is easy D. What else is there to say? I mean,
you really can't say anything.
They've been through 3 managers. Well, I guess if you want to count Van Hal, Nistelrooy, that boy Rude.
We're not counting him, but
okay. And then what are we saying about Amarim has been disappointment. Let's be honest, he's been a disappointment so far.
We can't. It's super early.
It's 5 L's in 7 games.
It's super early.
Yeah, 100%.
He's completely revamping everything.
I mean, his style has definitely been shown. It's been implemented. I don't think he has the players to do it. I mean, I think what he did to Xerxes was an embarrassment, absolute embarrassment. Amarim should hold lots of criticism and smoke for that decision to, first of all, play Xerxes out of position in your starting 11, and then embarrass him after taking him off after 30 minutes when he wasn't even, he's not the problem. If you made the mistake starting that 11. If that was the issue, then make the sub at halftime. You want to embarrass him because of your mistake? Embarrassing. Nah, it's ridiculous. Amarim,
you definitely needed to get that off your chest.
I definitely did, because we haven't been doing our podcast as of late. We haven't been doing those.
Man's acting like he's related to Xerxes right now, bro.
We haven't been really talking about the games on the channel recently, so I definitely had to get that off my chest because that was absolutely ridiculous. 23-year-old, first few months at the club.
Grown man, 23.
Not in this game. Not a grown man in this game.
Grown man, mate.
First few months at the club. First few months at the club, and you're embarrassing him because of your shit decision. Yeah. Now, Amarim has definitely been a disappointment so far. Still early.
It's too early for you to even be saying that. But that's the Man City bias you're going with. Right, so it's okay. Like, all right, D. I get it.
Simple, D.
Yeah.
Atalanta
S.
S.
Clear S. It's the clearest S we have.
Is Atalanta S, but Inter is not S? How? Tell me, bro. Tell me.
It's actually quite simple.
Tell me.
One has an expectation to compete at the highest level because of their history.
You're overrating
in the last
Inter's
4 or 5 years.
You're overrating Inter's expectations.
How?
They won a league with Conte. Conte left. They won a league with Inzaghi.
I'm not talking. Okay, you can literally talk about Man United in this way. Historically, they're a big club. Historically, they have expectations to compete.
No. But in the
Inter Milan are in the same thing. They're the same type of club. Historically, they have expectations. Atalanta does not.
But I'm not judging United off historical expectations because they
what are you judging them off?
Because they won the treble in '99. They have to be performing well.
Okay, so what are you judging them off?
I'm judging their season. Their season is dog shit, regardless of what
is their expectation.
Well, regardless of what their expectation is, their season has been dog shit.
The season is based on expectations. That's the whole thing about what we're doing.
I expected United to compete for Europa League, Conference League spots.
They're damn
near relegation.
But did you really think that?
I mean, I can't remember where I placed them in our prediction video, but yeah, I definitely did not expect them to make top 4. Definitely didn't put them in my top 4. I don't even know if I put them in my top 6. So, regardless of expectation,
no, you can't say regardless.
Dog shit.
You can't say regardless. You can't say regardless because expectation literally is everything. Atalanta is exceeding expectations.
So is Inter.
Inter Milan is not exceeding them.
They're meeting them. Inter's meeting them. But Inter meeting their expectations could arguably be even more difficult than Atalanta exceeding their expectations.
How
bro.
Is that even a thing?
Where did you expect
what that means?
Where did you expect Atalanta to finish this season, bro? Top 4 probably.
I don't think I would have put them top 4
probably.
I don't think I would have put them top 4.
Wow.
Genuinely,
That's just you. That's just your ball knowledge.
Why?
Lacking then.
Why is that my ball knowledge lacking?
Before the season started, I would have definitely expected them to finish above Lazio. Definitely expected them to finish above Juve. Definitely expect them to finish above you guys.
Definitely above Juve.
Yes.
Don't
above
even
Milan.
Give me that. Don't even give
Milan.
me that.
I did not expect Napoli to be cooking this season as well.
Mate, you are tweaking.
Maybe it's hindsight. I don't know.
Last year, they got 4th.
Exactly.
Barely, by 1 point.
So if you
by 1 point.
Exactly. That's their expectation. Top 4. Top 4 is expectation for Atalanta
The year
nowadays.
before that was 5th.
Okay.
22-23.
Okay.
21-22 is 8th, by the way.
That's a long time ago, mate.
It's
a long time
ago.
Not
a long time ago.
Their expectation, Atalanta expectation in Serie A nowadays is top 4. It is. It is, simply.
Okay, and they're competing for the league right now.
They are. And where are they in Europe? They're middle of the pack in Champions League table. 13th. Not bad at all.
Lost 1 game. We're really going to sit here and act like they're not over-exceeding their expectations.
Look, I agree they're
S.
I agree they're S because it's like they're doing a madness in the league, but I don't know how Inter's A. I don't know how they're sitting A.
I don't know how they're A either. They should be B.
Okay. Moving on. Atletico Madrid,
S tier.
S tier. S tier, bro. They're cooking.
Exceeding expectations.
They're cooking. They've been the best team in La Liga.
They reinforced perfectly.
They're 11th.
They got Sorloth, Gallagher,
Julian Alvarez.
Yep.
They got Simeone cooking. Barrios.
Longley cooking.
Somehow. So it's like, yeah, bro, the squad is working. They're 11th in the Champions League. They're doing the thing in La Liga. And
they're playing good football.
I expect them to win the league. I think they will win the league.
I think they're poised to be the best team to win the league for sure.
Yeah.
They're very consistently good.
S tier.
S tier, for sure. Their expectations weren't that high either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they ever are.
Newcastle.
Very shaky start to the season.
Shaky, but Eddie Howe.
We thought Eddie Howe was going down.
Whoa, don't say we. Don't say we. I backed him. I backed my boy Eddie. Backed him. You were slating him for how long, saying he's hit his ceiling. He's hit his ceiling.
And
my boy's back. My boy is back. He's
what
back.
What has he done to change that narrative?
He's back. He's
what has he
back.
done to change the narrative?
He's fighting for top 4 again. People doubted him.
Fighting for top 4, man.
Mate,
fighting for top
Newcastle,
4.
And they didn't have an impressive window. It's not like they were splashing. People thought the Saudis were going to come in, splash hundreds of millions every window. They were very reluctant last window. Did not bring in many players, if at all, any. So what are we doing here? Eddie Howe is working with what he has.
Ceiling already.
Nah, mate.
Yes, he has.
He's cooking. My boy is cooking. Eddie is cooking.
He's deservedly
not cooking.
So he's not cooking.
Very happy they gave him the patience and that he deserved because he's back doing his thing. Isak cooking. Gordon's back in form. Bruno G. Joelinton, the midfield's back. Tonali changing their season since he's been back from suspension.
Mate,
things have started.
You are such a bias of recency.
Have gone
it's insane.
uphill. Tonali making the team go uphill again. The midfield works with Tonali. He's really important for this team. It's very underrated.
Are you sure you're not a Newcastle fan?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure? It seems that way.
I respect the tune.
It really seems that way. Holy
the tune.
hell,
I
mate.
respect the tune.
Goodness me.
This is A tier.
Goodness me.
Newcastle's A tier.
They're A tier right now. They definitely turned their season around, but Eddie Howe has already hit his ceiling. That was, 2 seasons ago? For sure. Totally.
He's going to doubt. He's going to prove you wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Bayern Munich. Yeah.
Company's first year as a big boy manager.
They're 10th in the Champions League table. Of course, they're top of the league by 4 points in the Bundesliga. That's where we expect Bayern to be, right? Unfortunately for them, we just expect them to win the league.
But they're not as dominant as they should be.
As they should be? Or they used to be?
Expectation-wise.
Because I don't know about as they should be. Because if you look at squad versus squad, if you look at squad versus squad,
you're supposed to be very dominant.
Yes. But
undefeated at this stage of the Bundesliga. Should be.
Should be is crazy. Saying you should be undefeated is insane.
Look back at every single season in the Bundesliga.
Saying you should be undefeated as if that's some mad thing. No,
that's literally their
standard. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. You cannot compare this Bayern team to the Bayern teams of 10 years ago. You just can't do that.
There's a reason why they did a complete director's C-suite overhaul at Bayern Munich. Because they weren't reaching their expectations.
They won a sextuple just a few years ago.
And yet, they weren't happy. Because they didn't think they did enough the next season.
They didn't.
All right, then. So their expectation, I'm putting them at B.
At B?
Yeah. I don't think they're very dominant. No one is very scared of Bayern
How can you put them at B?
No one is very scared of Bayern.
I agree they're not scary in terms of the personnel. But that's probably why that bumps their ranking higher because their personnel isn't as good as it used to be. So the fact that they're top of the league, 4 points adrift,
most of those players
doing well
are still
in the Champions League,
most of those players are still the same.
With a team that isn't as scary on paper as the names that they used to have at the club, it's impressive. And with a new manager as well, company, mate. He has not won a trophy. He's not won anything in his career as a manager. So you can't expectations.
They got knocked out of the Pokal.
They got knocked out of the Pokal.
B. Where would you put them?
Yeah, I'd put them B.
Yeah, okay. What the hell?
PSG. The only French team on the list, yeah.
I'm going to keep it a buck here. I haven't been paying attention to PSG.
I'm not going to lie. Yo, whoever is in charge of Ligue 1 rights, make a deal with ESPN, make a deal with Paramount CBS, make a deal with someone. Make a deal with us. We'll stream the games. Make a deal with someone because I have not been watching Ligue 1 this season because it's just not available. It's just not available, bro.
But despite that, usually, I mean, we've had this problem, this streaming problem, this watching issue.
Okay.
Usually Twitter, would, give us something what's going on with PSG.
Oh, for sure.
It's not really happening. There's no magic going on in PSG.
The top of the league.
They are top of the league, but again, that's standard.
Yeah.
That should be status quo.
And they're well off. They're undefeated.
They're obviously trying to deal with an Mbappe-less, the Mbappe-less era.
Mm-hmm.
Not a scary team anymore, I'd say.
Absolutely not. They have a
Champions League
core.
Champions League, they're barely surviving. I think next game is do or die.
They're in the relegation zone. They're 25th.
Expectation-wise, I think you'd got to go C.
This is C.
You got to go C.
This is C. They're doing their thing in the league, but they're poor form in the Champions League. And I guess
they're just not a scary team anymore.
I mean, they're
an aging squad.
Yeah.
At the back, at least.
Yeah,
at the back.
They have a young core going forward in the midfield with João Neves, Vitinha,
but like those players are good and all, but they're not the superstars.
They're not superstars.
PSG in the past had,
Yeah, but they do have a superstar manager, and then Luis Enrique, he's doing his thing. Whoa, debatable.
Debatable.
It's a treble winning
Barca merchant.
It's a treble winning
Messi
manager.
merchant. Some may say a Messi merchant.
Okay,
but
C is fair.
C is good. I like in C.
Liverpool
S.
Easy one. Probably the easiest on this list. Yeah.
Well, maybe not, but
I think so.
No. Atalanta is very easy.
Nah, Man United was easier.
Atleti is very easy.
S, bro. I mean, look, Arne is blowing out all expectations out of the water. I mean, it's simple, bro. I expected them to fight for top 4. They're walking away with the league. The league's over. It's been over since October. And
Champions League as well, mate.
Champions League, they're the favorites. They're the favorites somehow.
They're in every competition still, right?
Yeah, I think they are.
Fair play. I mean, simple. We don't really need to talk about these guys. Van Dijk having a year. Trent's having a year.
Trent's on his way to Madrid.
I mean, every single player on that team is kind of having a season.
Like, you can't name I would
maybe
say Darwin's having a bad season.
Darwin, I saw you. They caught you liking some AC Milan.
That's a big L.
That's actually
a big L.
I'm imagining him.
And
we're eating good at Milan if we have him.
Dude, he's ass.
Under Conceição, that's the Gyökeres type.
You're acting like Conceição had good.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that is the type of Darwin. Darwin is back.
No, he's not back.
With his Portuguese managers, mate.
He's not back.
He's gonna be back.
He's a decent player. I think he could do a job in Syria, but he's pretty average. And Liverpool definitely got rinsed by Benfica. Definitely overpaid. Yeah, he should be. He'll be out the door.
I think paid his dues already, mate.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he paid maybe 10 million off.
Don't do that.
That's it.
No.
That's it. Look, I think Luis Diaz is also having a pretty poor season. But other than that, I think everyone else is performing, bro. Barcelona.
Hansi Flick.
They fell off, bro. They started out the season, first 2-3 months, they were cooking, looked like they were going to run the league, to be honest.
Fall off is a bit.
Bad form. Very bad form in the league. Very bad form.
Falling off is a bit crazy.
Like, think about it, bro. It's a fall off. They have 5 L's. 5 L's in the league.
Okay, so
Atleti have 1 L. Madrid have 2.
But what's the difference between Newcastle and Barcelona then? Because it's a flip-flop between them.
Oh, the expectations are different. Duh.
How?
What do you mean how? We don't expect Newcastle to compete for the league. We don't. We expect Barca to compete for the league, which they are, but they're, 5 points off top now. They're in bad form. And if Lamine isn't playing, their goals dry up.
Debatable. Rafinha having a season. Lewandowski having a season.
Without Lamine, Lewa is shite. Rafinha holds his own, yes, but I mean, Lamine creatively, they don't really have anyone replicating that. Pedri has been inconsistent. He's been picking up form recently. The midfield has been working with him, Casado, Gavi, or Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo, we don't even know if he's going to play for the rest of the season.
It's looking like he's not.
Yeah, and so Barca have their problems, bro. I mean, Hansi Flick, he deserves more time for sure. He's doing a decent job. Obviously brought in mad youngsters. I don't even know how many new names have played for Barca this season. So he's working with scraps.
Dude, I don't know.
I would say
I would go with A.
It's definitely A.
I don't think they go B.
Yeah, I guess so. You can't really fault them. I mean, they're still doing their thing.
Expectation-wise, they're Barcelona. They're supposed to be competing for the league. But these past couple of years, we've kind of known, after Messi had left, we've kind of seen a Barca that's been very fragile, very weak.
That's true. And they're second in the Champions League table. So they're doing their thing in Champions League. They're cooking.
If anything, they've had a resurgency this season.
Yeah.
So
no, it's true.
We can't fault them for having a blip in the last 2 weeks.
AC Milan.
As a Milan fan...
This is an easy C. It's a very easy C.
As a Milan fan, I had low expectations. Fonseca was not the hire we needed. Clearly not. He got fired.
Low key, they didn't give him enough time though. They didn't give enough time.
Thank goodness.
Very
mate.
harsh. Very
Thank
harsh.
goodness, mate.
Very harsh.
Not very harsh. We got cooked by every single big team.
Nah, you guys were getting cooked though for sure.
Relax. Relax.
You guys were getting cooked. No,
Fonseca was never the higher, mate.
Your performances were dire. Any win you guys had, it wasn't convincing. Your losses, you were getting beat down.
Well, that's
sometimes.
not true.
It is pretty true.
We beat Madrid in the Champions League. That was very convincing.
Madrid are garbage, but that was probably your only light in the Fonseca era.
We beat Inter Milan.
Again, that was very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
It was lucky, bro.
No, it wasn't.
A little magic,
smoked
a magic from Pulisic, and then
genuinely smoked.
magic solo run from Pulisic, and the rest, it was just like very lucky. Those are the only two good games under Fonseca. Fonseca has benched Leao. Leao has been garbage this season. Theo has been garbage this season. Two best players, garbage. Rangers is the only player, maybe him and Fofana.
And Pulisic, mate.
And
Are
Pulisic.
we tweaking here?
Those three players have been probably the standouts for Milan this season. But other than that, the squad has been dire, bro. It's been meaty.
I know this, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I watch them week in and week out. But, yeah, I mean, expectation-wise, this is kind of where I would have thought.
Whoa, 8th place. What are you guys, like 8th place?
Yeah.
You did not expect to be 8th place. Don't do that.
I did not expect to compete for the league.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
I said Fonseca sucked. He reeked, bro.
You expected to
compete for the league.
Oh,
I did not expect that.
But you expected top 4, and you're 8th.
C is fine.
And in the Champions League, you guys are like middle of the pack.
C is fine.
C works.
C works for me.
Real Madrid.
What is that?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Despite everyone saying they fell off this and that, Mbappe's having a shocker this and that, they're still kind of where they need to be.
Yeah, it's true.
Top of the league.
It's true.
Champions League still in it, although they probably need a win. I think they're towards the bottom of the Champions League. Jude Bellingham had a rocky start to the league, but now he's cooking. Mbappe the same. So
yeah, bro. Madrid are 20th in the Champions League table. They definitely need to win next game.
I wouldn't put them S just because they weren't rocking.
You don't even need to mention that, bro. Trust me. You don't need to mention S.
You can't put them at B.
This is an easy B.
How's it a B?
This is an easy
How's
B.
it a B?
It's a B, bro.
Explain to me.
Very similar.
Explain to me how it's a B.
It's a very similar dynamic with Bayern. Like,
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
People are very scared of this Madrid team. Don't you dare say no.
No one wants to look. No one wants to play.
No one wants to play.
Actually, that's not true, bro. With their injuries, they're not scary. I'll happily take Madrid in the.
They just got David Alaba back. Rudiger. Who else?
Carvajal out.
Okay, but that's
Militao out.
Militao is not starting.
Well,
they've got David Alaba. They've got David Alaba and Rudiger, and that youngster that is actually really good.
What's his name?
I don't know. That's why I said that youngster.
Fair. Okay, yeah. Left back situation is
still good.
Meaty.
Ferland Mendy is good. He's a solid.
Right back situation is
player.
meaty. Midfield situation
is not meaty.
Look, at the end of the day,
that's what I thought.
It's B. No, it's B. No. You didn't even let me explain why I said B. Their situation is very similar to Bayern.
No, they're not.
Their expectations are high. So
Madrid is achieving more of their expectation than Bayern Munich.
How? They're both top of the league. Both teams are top of the league. And Bayern are doing much better than Champions League than Real Madrid are. So if we're moving Madrid up, we're moving Bayern up. Simple as.
Nah.
Simple as.
I'm not having that.
Yeah, what are you exactly?
I'm not having
exactly.
that.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They still have a stable manager in Ancelotti. Ancelotti, how many seasons straight is this from him? Yeah, I don't even know how many.
But why are you trying to cook? They're first.
I'm not trying to cook. Obviously, they're first.
But you're trying to say, Ancelotti is the reason why they're at B.
No, I'm not saying that. But Ancelotti, when did Zidane leave?
I don't know, mate. It's been a good 5 years.
It's been at least 5 years Ancelotti's reign at Madrid. So he should, he's had time to build something. He's built something, young core. And this season, it hasn't always been working. First half of the season was very weak. Very weak.
We're looking at the whole season.
Yeah, we're looking at the whole season.
So that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. We're not doing that.
No, we're looking at the whole season so far. So the first half is definitely not irrelevant because it plays a part. And the second half has been better, but that's why they're B.
Okay, you're going to sit here and tell me Chelsea, Inter Milan, Newcastle, and Barcelona are having better season than Real Madrid?
Based off their expectations, yes, 100%. Easily. 100%. I mean, where are they in Copa del Rey? They're still in it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Champions League. Again,
would you not say their injury woes this season bumped down their expectations a lot?
No, because they have an insane squad. So their injury
in their defense, you're saying their defense is insane.
Yeah, it is.
Bar
Alaba,
bar injury,
Rudiger,
sure. Bar
Militao,
injury, sure.
Carvajal, Mendy, Fran Garcia.
Yeah, and
Asensio.
how many of them have been injured this season?
Half of them.
More than half. Multiple times.
Nah.
Yes.
It don't matter.
So therefore, they had we call it as it is. They had an injury
Every
crisis.
team has injuries. Every team has injuries.
And look at them. Where are they?
Yeah.
Still top of the table.
20th in the Champions League table.
Top of the table, La Liga. Put them at A.
No,
Put
they're
them
B.
at A.
No, they're B. They're definitely B.
They're
I'm
not
moving.
B.
They're
They're
definitely
not
B. And
Look
I'm
at
not moving.
Newcastle when they had injuries.
And also, Vinny, red card. Hold that.
You do realize that was all goalkeeper, right? That was all goalkeeper.
What? What did you just
all
say?
Goalkeeper.
What do you mean all go? What does that mean? What does that mean?
He instigated it first,
Yeah, you
bro.
don't have to hold that. Vinny's a hothead. He's gonna have to hold that. He's not reliable. Mbappe missing pens left and right. Bellingham
missed a pen.
Without Bellingham, this is Mr. Bellingham. We're rating. This is not. We're
What
not
pen
rating,
did he miss?
We're not rating Real Madrid.
What pen did Mbappe miss?
Liverpool and another one game after. I can't remember against who. Yeah, hold that. Real Madrid. Real Madrid they're Bellingham FC, bro. Without Jude, they're nothing. Without Jude's
That's
form,
just not true.
Without Jude's form
not
in the last
true.
2 months, I don't know where they would be. No, they're 100% B.
Last
B for
2
Bellingham.
months.
B tier for Bellingham. Simple as, bro.
Let's move on because this is outrageous.
Aston Villa.
Villa, they're what, 8th place, I think, in the Prem?
Yeah. Hasn't been insane.
Has not been insane.
They're
Their
8th place.
expectation raised for sure because of last season.
Has to. It's just natural.
They invested in players.
Who did they bring in? Philogene.
They lost Diaby this season.
They brought in Maatsen.
Who else did they sign? I thought they had signed
Onana.
Yeah. What happened to him, bro?
He's been out of form. He's been out of form last few months. He's been playing. He's just been out of form. And
Ross Barkley this season?
Yeah, ever since Kamara has come back from injury, it's been Kamara, Tielemans, Rogers, McGinn mainly. So, I mean, like...
Expectation-wise?
I mean, they're 5th in the Champions League table. Win against Bayern at the Allianz. They played Juve as well. I mean, they've had difficult fixtures. They're doing well in the Champions League.
I put them at B then.
Yeah. No, B...
I think their Champions League is offsetting what they're doing in the league.
But could we really say that Newcastle's having a better season? Like, I don't know if that's...
You'd put them at A?
I would say Villa is maybe an A tier.
But 8th place, blood?
No, but they had such a bad run. But then again, like in the Prem, they're 8th, but they're only like a few points off 4th. Like it's just so tight in that area of the table.
Okay, then knock down Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't see how Villa could be under Newcastle if they're doing their thing in the Champions League.
All right, next.
Napoli.
S tier.
S tier. S tier?
Yeah.
No Europe. They're the only Italian team that didn't get Europe in the top 10 season.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they even finish top half of the?
I think they finished 10th, and the first through 9th got Europe, which is mad.
Yeah, that is mad.
And it's a big reason why they're doing well in the league this season. I feel like
a lot of turmoil. Ocean Man is gone.
Without him as well,
it looked like Kvaras was gonna step because a lot of turmoil was going on.
He stayed.
They brought Antonio Conte in.
Lukaku as well.
Reinforced with Lukaku, McTominay,
Billy Gilmore.
Kind of a reject blue-collar team. Perfect for Antonio Conte, though. No one was expecting them to compete for the title.
Nobody.
Not even, dare I say, top 4. I don't think anyone expected that.
I think people could maybe have like assumed they would be competing for European spots.
Maybe.
With Conte coming in and that. But
maybe.
Yeah, no, what they're doing right now is madness. No one expected them to come back, challenge for the league again, especially losing Osimhen. I mean, of course, no Europe. So, is it really S? This might be an A.
No,
this might be an A.
You can't knock them because of that. It's not because Antonio Conte. It was not Antonio Conte's team last year. It was not because of him.
Like, I don't see how Napoli can be above Inter, bro. How can Napoli be above Inter? How could Napoli be on the same level as Atalanta? I don't see it, bro. I don't see it
because they're competing for the league. That's how.
But it's just like. No Europe. When those two teams are competing for Europe, are they even in Coppa Italia? I don't know what's going on in Coppa Italia right now. They're not in the Super Cup. I know that.
They're S, bro. Their expectation was so low. They were almost irrelevant.
It was not so low.
Yeah, it kind of was, mate. It kind of was. New manager, new overhaul. They lost their best player. Like, no one was expecting this at all. At all.
That don't sit right with me. I'm not going to lie.
Napoli's at S, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Just because they're not in Europe, it's telling you to at A.
That's not the only reason. I'm comparing them to Inter right now. I'm comparing them to Inter. I don't see how they're having a better season than
Napoli.
Inter. I just don't see how
first place.
Inter, if they win their games in hand, overtake them.
That's a big if.
Arsenal.
Asna.
This is interesting.
6 points off first.
No, the league's done. The league title is over.
6 points off first.
Champions League, they're doing well.
Doing very well in Champions League. Eye test regressed a lot.
Yes. Watching them play,
players have regressed a lot. Martinelli has lost a step.
I mean, that happened last season, to be fair. Odegaard's been doing his thing. Saka was doing his thing, but he's cooked now. He's not going to be, probably won't play for the rest of the season.
And what's his name? Wanyeri? Bright Spark.
Expectations
are pretty high.
Expectations were to compete for the league.
I'd go B.
Yeah, I don't mind B.
I'd go B.
I think B is fair.
So
City.
Dare I say D?
What? Don't do that.
11.
Don't do that.
Winless games in a row.
Don't do that.
11 winless games in a row.
Yeah, and look where we still are on the table.
What's your point?
We're 6th.
Expectations, mate.
We're 6th.
Expectations, everything.
Okay, what did you expect of us?
To win the league. We literally thought that in our predictions video that you guys were going to win the league. You always said,
I don't think we did. We didn't predict that, first of all. We did not predict that.
Okay, we didn't, but neck and neck, at least. You always said Champions League, they're always in contention. Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore? We're definitely still one of the favorites to win it.
Okay, so expectations very high then, and yet you guys have capitulated. Completely.
The run is over. The bad run is over.
Completely capitulated. They're D.
No, absolutely not D. Absolutely not D.
How?
If we are D,
explain.
Villa went on just as a bad run as us.
You had the same expectations as Villa now.
No.
Pep had the same expectations, yeah?
No.
Come on now. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Brother.
We're not doing this. I do not care. They're D.
D is nuts. Dude.
You literally, mate, bias aside, blood. Because I know you're biased as hell right now.
I'm not biased. Absolutely no bias.
They're in D.
It doesn't make sense how they're a D, bro.
Why does it not make sense?
The expectations were to compete for the league and compete for the Champions League. We could still do the latter. And the league is done. Yes, the league is done. But think about the injuries.
Eye test has been horrendous.
Rodri
think
out.
of the injury. Okay.
Rodri out.
Madrid had the same amount of injury crisis.
No. Madrid have not had the injury crisis that we have had.
Yes, they did.
No, they have not.
Probably even more.
No, absolutely not. Rodri out. Diaz has missed half the games. Ake has missed half the games.
Ake, definitely a starter, right?
He does.
Yeah? How many times have you started this season?
When he's been fit, he starts. When he's been fit,
No, that's not even remotely true. You can't even say that. Don't even say that. Gvardiol's been shocking. Walker's been shocking. KDB's been shocking. Haaland's been shocking.
Stone's been out all season. KDB been out half the season. Foden was out half the season.
Foden's been out, but we all know why.
Grealish was out half the season. Doku missed games. Savio missed games. Kovacic out half the season.
Cry about it, mate. Real Madrid had the same type of injury crisis, and yet they're top of the league.
No, they didn't. Tchouaméni has not been injured. Valverde was not been injured. Mbappe had not been injured.
Nice, 3 players.
Arda not been injured. Brahim not been injured. They had plenty of reinforcements.
I can talk about McAtee not being injured too, bro. Like, come on now.
You can't do that.
They're in D. You can't put them anywhere else, bro. Thank you. Juve. I'd go C.
C?
Yeah. Everyone was high on the prized possession of Thiago Motta. Did his thing last year at Bologna. Brought in a few players with him. Granted, they are funnily enough undefeated in the league. Mm-hmm. Have 11 ties though.
That's insane.
Which is a Modinho.
That's insane.
Yet they're playing like horrendous football.
They're not playing great football. I mean, I don't feel like they've had standout performers this season. Vlahovic again, meaty. Yildiz been pretty good. Bright spark. Back line, Kalulu's been good. Di Gregorio's been good. I mean, they've had some good performers, but yeah, overall, team's not playing attractive football. They're not getting as many wins as they should. Lots of nil-nils in the big games. 0-0 against Milan, 0-0 against Roma, I think. 0-0 against Villa. They beat City. I mean, yeah, bro. It's not been impressive.
Nah, not at all. And they have a high expectation because this was the season they were trying to get back on track with said players.
Would they be doing better right now with Allegri?
It's a great question. I mean, you would have to say, yeah, just given his track record with them. But, I mean, C's okay. I'm good with C.
C is fair. Tottenham, last but not least. Spurs.
What are they sitting right now in the table?
Cooked. They're 12th. They're 12th, and then in the Champions...
High expectations.
No, where are they? They're in Europa League. They're in Europa League.
I think they're in the Conference League.
No, they're 9th in the Europa League.
Very high expectations.
High expectations. But I think it's not really fair on them because...
It's not because of injuries.
No, it's not. I'm not even going to... Wasn't even going to mention injuries. I think people, and me included, overrated their transfer window. Their transfer window, when it happened, I was thinking, fair play. It looks like a great transfer window. They brought in the 9 they wanted. They brought in some young talent. They brought in Bergvall, Archie Gray. And it just looked like it was going to be enough, but it just clearly wasn't. In hindsight. Like,
they've had majority of their starting 11 injured.
That's on Ange.
It is on Ange. I agree. But at the same time, like, if those players stayed fit, who knows? Like, I definitely had them top 4 this season.
I did as well.
Expectations were very high. They're clearly not meeting them. They're getting thrashed left and right. Even in the Europa League, they're not doing too well. And it just seems like the players are kind of just done with Ange. Maybe.
I don't think they're done with Ange, bro. I think they're just tired because he makes them run, bro. Like, it's insane. The defensive injuries are a problem. That's because of Ange's system. The recovery runs cook these guys' hamstrings. Van de Ven can't stay fit. Romero can't stay fit.
Apparently it's their practice. You heard that?
Nah.
They're saying, like, people on the inside are saying, like, Ange makes them, like, run like hell in practice.
Like suicides.
I don't know what they do, but they're saying... Even Ange says, like, yeah, I demand a lot from them in practice. And that's people are saying that's the reason why, like, they're getting so many injuries.
If that's true, that's insane. Because you cannot be running these dudes into the ground at training when you've got a game every 3 days and you're making them play high line every game with no fail. You're hardly rotating, really. You don't have the options to. I mean, Udogie injured now. Romero can't stay fit. Van de Ven can't stay fit. I think this is D, bro. I think this is D.
I'm not mad at that.
I think this
Unfortunately.
is D. Yeah. I hope Ange can turn it around. I think he deserves time. I think he deserves more time. I think he deserves another big transfer window.
I agree with that. And I think it's not necessarily his fault, right?
Entirely. He definitely takes some
Levy's
blame.
got a lot to blame here.
That guy is a criminal.
If we're looking back at this list, yeah.
Okay, well, who are we moving, bro?
Are we moving anybody?
Spurs stays, City stays, United stays.
Yeah, I agree.
Juve stays, Milan stays, PSG, Roma stays.
I agree.
Arsenal stays, Newcastle,
yes,
Villa, Madrid, Bayern, Dortmund.
I
do think one of these teams, these Prem teams, should move up. I don't have the feeling that Villa, Newcastle, and Arsenal are all having a similar season. I just don't.
Based on their expectations, I kind of vibe with it. You can't put recency bias because Newcastle is doing well right now. They were having a stinky first half.
But look where they are in the table.
Okay, but do they have any Europe?
No, but neither do Napoli, and you said that was irrelevant to the argument. So
is Newcastle first? Is Newcastle first?
No, but
okay. Does Newcastle have a new manager?
Be consistent.
No. I am.
Be consistent.
I am. Does Newcastle have a new manager? No.
Okay.
Did they overhaul their squad? No. Did they lose their best players? No.
Overhauling their squad, yeah, that's a plus for Napoli. They barely spent money this season, Newcastle.
That's a plus for Napoli. What do you mean?
Overhauling squad, bringing in players is always is damn near always a positive.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all because there's a risky run in which they could flop and not actually be good, and you lose even more with that way. So it's a risk, if anything. Especially if you're getting Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore.
They got Davineros came this summer too, or not?
Yeah, that's true. Davineros as well, mate. These guys are like outcasts, bro. I'm okay with B. All of those guys are good at
all of them. Barca, Inter, Chelsea.
You're tweaking, bro. I'm going to keep it a buck.
All right. That's our tier list, yeah. Ranking every big club, S through D. You know what I'm saying? Get in the comments. Let us know where we were wrong. Hit the like button, sub up, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.